Yeah, I just got done installing the WD Electronics blinker street legal kit for Expeditions, Polaris Xpedition. And I wanted to pass on a few of my notes. The video is excellent video these guys did. I was just a little bit unclear on a couple things, so I want to pass that on so you have knowledge of how to do this. I did a little upgrade to it too. I went to Harbor Freight and bought this 1/4 inch wire wrap, and it's pretty inexpensive, and I just did that for the long cable that goes to the rear, so it just helps protect it more. But probably it's okay not to use it, but I just went ahead and did it. And you have to have this tool to do this job. I'll put a link to the Amazon kit that I got, and these are tools that you can use to remove the plastic, whatever you call them. You know what I'm talking about, but you got to pop a bunch of those off. And the other thing is you need this deep socket. It's a 12 millimeter deep socket, and I'll show you where you need that, but you have to have that. I was wearing this headband. I actually got 2 of those from Amazon, so I got one charging while this one's being used. And just try and clear a workspace and have everything ready to go, because this is a pretty intense job. So these are sequential front blinker setup. I got it on hazard flasher right now, so they're both doing it. And yes, the car is ripped apart because that's what you got to do. So that 12 millimeter is basic. I'll do this one because I didn't take this one out. You don't have to, but it was to take this out right here. You have to take out the fitting that this attaches to so you can release this plastic. And I only did it on the one side, the driver's side, and I left the dash in place, the dash cover, and I was just basically lifting it up because everything is disconnected here. So it can go up in the air, and you can do what you need to do to the instrument cluster that's in the video. And so make sure you take, see if it shows here. I had to take that plastic cover off to get this dash to be able to lift up. I tried to do it without taking that off, but you have to take that off. So that's one of the things I wasn't real clear on. And then I ran the wiring to the back right here, and I also put an extra larger wire loom in because I got a chase light that's going to go in. I don't have the parts yet, but it's going to save me from taking it all apart again. So I've got that prepped with a string so I can use it as a pull. So if you notice the string, it's right here, tied off. This is the brain of the whole thing. It's real easy. It's plug and play. I didn't really need the extension that they give you for the getting to the blinker setup. So that's in here. So the hazards are on, and then I'll turn those off. Right here's the switch. And that's off. And then you got a blinker control right here, so you can turn on the left turn. It's flashing for you on the dash. That's right turn, that's flashing. When I mounted this, it was a little bit too wide for the mount location, so it was too loose. Trying to tighten it as tight as I could. I could move this around, and it's not stable, but now it's stable. I'll dub in a picture of what I ended up getting at the hardware store so I could lock this in place real nice. They may include that in the kit, hopefully, in the future. Kind of a pain to put those in, but there was about a 7/1000 gap between the bracket and what it's attaching to. So the bracket's very heavy duty, and it wouldn't squeeze or tighten up, which I'm fine with, but I had to have it tighter than what I could do without these little washers I added. So anyway, I added those washers. This is the bracket right here, and it goes through a hole that Polaris has already in place. So that's where that goes. These little guys are a pain to get off because I'm trying to be gentle and careful with them, and they still aren't coming apart like they're supposed to. These little white clips, I assume, are supposed to stay on the front grill, this thing, but they didn't. They stayed on the machine up there, so I'm gonna have to snap those back in, and hopefully those clips are still good. That was probably the worst of it. Taking out these with that tool is pretty easy, so you can put these back in and pop them in. It's real easy. What else to note? I guess on routing the wire, you can see here I got it secured with zip ties, and it's routed through here. There's a lot of room, and so I zip tied it, went along, and there's some more of it right here. And I like to have it in this protective cover just because there's a lot of sand being thrown up from the tire and stuff, so it just saves wear and tear on the wire shield that they had put on it. So it's just a little extra precaution to run it in these sleeves. This is my prepped one right here, so I can do the chase light later. And I got it hidden, tucked away, so you don't really see it on the back side. That, again, that's keeping the sand and stuff from blasting it. And it got ran up here, and I also put some of that stuff around the license plate wiring too. So that's all neat and tied up. One thing you got to be concerned about is the exhaust is right here, so that gets really hot, and you got to watch your wiring. But I followed Polaris's path here for their wiring, so I think I'm safe for that. This plug is mounted to a clip right there, so it's in a fixed position, and everything snaps on the back side of that. So I don't know, that's a little tough to do, but it worked. I could do it. So again, everything's zip tied up. There's nice amount of extra length. I don't mind extra wire. That's beautiful. It could have been shorter, but it's fine. So I'd rather have too much than too little. So this license plate, the video shows the bolts with the head of the bolt in the gutter here, but I had to flip it around because maybe they've tightened up the tolerance of how high this license plate is compared to the mount, the bracket. So there's no room for the other side of this to hang down like it did in the video. So it's going the other way, not a big deal. Oh, the lights are on, that's right. So this is all lit up, so it's legal. And when I do a chase light, I'm probably gonna mount it to the other side of the gutter and get that installed. I gotta order it still. So I think those are my notes I wanted to pass along. You don't really have to tear apart the other side of the car so much, but I'll show you one last thing. I followed his instructions for loosening these up to get the sequential strips in, and that made it really easy. Yeah, There's a lot of extra wire here, so I just bundled it up, and it's kind of just sitting here. It's not going to go anywhere. They say to test that too before you get to buttoning everything up. Make sure you got it hooked up the right way. That's the other side there. I stuck some stickies on these to glue them down. There's the other one. So that's how I did it. This box is probably back here a little more than they had it. There's just enough clearance to get to the bar here for hooking up other items. I think it'll be all right. So, all right. I think that's it. Thanks for watching.